everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to the All-American Accepted Students webinar. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to getting to know a little bit more about me as the director and All-American as a community. So we're just going to jump right into it. I have everyone muted, so don't worry. You won't be able to be heard on this. I'm just going to talk for a little bit. And then if you guys have any specific questions, we can go ahead and answer those a little bit later. So if you don't know already, my name is Frank Pavlikevich. I'm the director and founder of the All-American Model UN programs. I've been doing this now for a little over 6 years. I started All-American after I graduated from Boston University, where I studied business and international relations, and I ended up graduating with 2 degrees in the 4 years that I was there. I was really involved in Model United Nations all throughout college and joined the Model UN team. It was sort of one of the first things that I did once I got to BU. I knew when I was even applying to schools and universities that that's something that I was really interested in continuing. I had started the Model UN Club in my high school and really got hooked on it, I'm sure like a lot of you guys, and then continued on to do it in college. When I got to BU, it was just called the Model UN Club, and we went to a couple of conferences a year, and we also co-hosted BOSMAN, the Boston Invitational Model UN Conference, which some of you guys may have gone to, which is awesome because I love that connectivity that spans throughout the years. When I was a senior, I was fortunate enough to be elected president of the organization, and that's when I helped to grow the organization into what it is right now, the International Affairs Association. So we sort of took that next step and grew from just a Model UN club that ran the high school conference, co-hosted the high school conference because it was actually co-hosted between BU and MIT at the time, into the fully fledged, essentially a nonprofit that stayed underneath the umbrella of Boston University. The IAA, or Booyah as we called it, consisted of the travel team, the high school conference. I was also the first sec-gen of the BU College Conference, the Boston Area Model UN Conference. We started an IR journal, helped to start the WeMUN Expo, which we still go to, which All-American still goes to today. So that's sort of how things got started. Initially, All-American started as just one team. We were going to bring a group of high school students to Beijing, China to compete at the WeMUN Expo, which at the time was the largest conference in Asia. It's still one of the largest in Asia, but it's not quite as big as it used to be. And the WeMUN Expo is pretty cool because it's a co-sponsoring between a whole bunch of different schools. So right now I think it's BU, Penn, McGill, Oxford, the University of Chicago, Cornell, and a couple of other schools get together, and they each run separate committees at the WeMUN Expo. So the China program is really awesome. For the past couple of years, we've done China and then India back-to-back, but this year we're going to take a break from the India conference, and instead we're going to go out to Xi'an, which is the ancient capital of China in the middle of the country, and it's where the Terracotta Warriors are. So that's a really, really cool trip. Also happening this summer, for the first time, we're going to a conference in Warsaw, Poland called the NATO Security Simulation, and this is actually going to be co-hosted between All-American and the Georgetown International Relations Association, which is the group that hosts NAMAN in Washington, D.C. So Georgetown and some of our staffers are going to put on this conference. It's going to be a very small conference, so if you're looking for an intimate conference, a very, very high quality, high intensity conference, that's a great opportunity. Warsaw is going to be an awesome city to host that in. We're going to do a bunch of touring and sightseeing around Warsaw, and we're going to take a day trip to Auschwitz. So this is the first time we're doing that. That's at the end of June. I really recommend you guys check that out. If you want to look at the conference website, you can go to nato.modeldiplomacy.com. So nato.modeldiplomacy.com is the URL for the conference, or you can go onto the All-American site to see sort of what's included if you sign up for that program at the end of June. If you're not quite looking for international trips this summer, we also have our Boston Diplomacy Academy, and for those students that were given a conditional acceptance or just a full acceptance into the academy, we've been running that for 3 years now. This is our 3rd year that we'll be doing it. That's held on BU's campus, and the days are sort of split in half. For a little more than half the day, from about 9 a.m. to about 4 or 5 p.m., we'll be doing all of that traditional Model UN training. And we start out with broadly based general assemblies, and we move into specialized agencies, and then finally ending up doing crisis simulations. So you'll get the full gamut of different types of committees because we want you, after you finish the academy, to be able to compete at any conference in any type of committee. We keep the seat numbers very low there on purpose, so we only accept between 12 and 16 students for the academy every year. And that's to make sure everyone has very individualized attention and feedback. We do a different simulation every day, so you'll get a wide range of topics and experiences in regards to the simulations that we've designed for you. The latter half of the day, the second part of the day, is really to immerse you guys into collegiate style learning. So we're going to ask every student to do a research project. In the past, we've required everyone to write a paper to go along with it, but this year the paper is going to be optional. Instead, we're going to have you do presentations every day on the progress that you're making in regards to what you're researching. So it's up to you to pick your topic. We've had people discuss nuclear nonproliferation, internal domestic politics in Korea, and some more obscure things as well. So we want you guys to become an expert in something so that when you see that on the Model UN circuit, you have something tangible to rely on this week that you've done research. And I say that it's a college level learning environment because it'll be up to you to set your own schedule during that time to make use of all the resources that BU has to offer, all of the different libraries, and to keep each other motivated throughout that process. Of course, at the Academy too, it would be stupid to ignore the city of Boston, so we do a lot of great things in the city, a lot of sightseeing. So one of the highlights of the week is doing a photo scavenger hunt of the entire city, where I let teams go out into Boston with a long list of different challenges and riddles that they have to complete in an allotted time frame. So that's a lot of fun. And you guys will be housed in the BU dorms, an air-conditioned suite-style dorm. So each suite will have 3 bedrooms. Each bedroom will have 2 people in it, and you sort of get that college dorm experience too. So it's a great way to spend a week during the summer. And then, of course, if you're going to do the summer programs, either Poland or China, you can also do the Diplomacy Academy at a highly discounted rate. It's more than half off that I give students that decide to do those programs. So it's a really cool opportunity to really grow your skills and then to travel with us. For the students that just do the Diplomacy Academy, you'll also get a $750 grant, which you can then use in the future for any travel opportunity that you would like. So one of the things you'll quickly learn about me and about the All-American community is that I'm very focused on growing long-term relationships. A lot of the students that I worked with 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I'm still in very close contact with now, and I like to help out as much as I can. And as soon as you join the All-American community, you'll very quickly notice that a lot of people want to give back and want to help you out. You guys have probably seen on the website some of the college acceptance stats that we put out there. 34% of the students that we work with go on to attend an Ivy League school, Stanford, Georgetown, or the University of Chicago. And I know those are the schools that a lot of you are interested in applying to. And the fact that we have so many student alumni at those schools, they're all willing to help out. They're all willing to give advice on applications and interviews and essays. So use them as a resource as soon as you join the All-American community. The other stat that I like to talk about a lot is that 55 to 60% of students that do one program with us end up doing multiple programs. And now that the statistic is even higher for students that do 3 or even 4 programs with All-American during their time in high school. So we have a lot of different ways to get involved. We have a lot of different programs both in the U.S. and internationally. We also do an international trip over Thanksgiving in November, and then we do 1 or 2 spring trips as well. So no matter where in the world you want to travel, we most likely have a program that will take you there and that you will be able to go on with a group of highly motivated students that all share the same passion for growing as not only a Model UN delegate, but a global citizen and international student. So I hope that I've been able to give you a little bit of a better idea as to what All-American Model UN is. I know you guys are probably still going to have a ton of questions. One of the things that I will say is start talking with your parents about these programs now. Have that open dialogue and let them know that I am always here to answer questions and concerns and talk things through. I never want someone who's accepted into All-American to not be able to participate, because I really believe in the value and the mission of what we have. So let me know how I can help. I know financially sometimes there are a lot of questions. There are a couple of resources that I can provide. We've had a number of students that have been able to fundraise their full tuitions before. So there's a whole bunch of ways that I can help out. So let me know what questions you guys have, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. The best ways to get in touch with me are either to email me at frank@allamericanmun.com, or you can add me on Facebook and send me a Facebook messenger message. That's a real easy way to get in touch with me. You can text me on the number that's on the All-American website, so 617-702-4888. You can text or call that number, and I'll be able to get back to you. So I hope that I've answered a lot of the questions that you guys have had. If you do have anything more specific, like I said, feel free to just reach out to me. Be more than happy to talk with you and your family about ways that we can help out. So get to know a little bit more about us. If you haven't done so already, head on over to allamericanmun.com/acceptance, and you'll see all of the documents and resources that we have available to our students, and all of the instructions for actually completing your registration for programs. And if you're a high school senior right now, yes, you are still eligible to participate in the summer programs before you start college. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope we will start working together shortly.